Hello students, welcome. In this video, I would like to talk about who should take a drop of 1 year to write the NEET examination once again. So you see this year, 25 lakh members had written NEET examination. Out of that, you know that only around 1 lakh students will qualify, which means that 24 lakh students will not be able to qualify this examination. That means it is very natural that many of the students would be feeling that they are below the cutoff. Now, what is the next alternative? What's the future course of action? So many students would be in a dilemma. Should I take one more year to repeat it again, or should I go for other alternative courses? This is a big dilemma students will be struggling with. Of course, result hasn't come yet. But anyway, if you want to decide about to go for it or not, I just thought probably will give certain framework for you using which you can help yourself to decide about it. That's about it. Let's go into the details. So decision making is a very crucial skill that every leader should have. Decision making is taught in leadership courses as a very important skill because generally, in everyday life you consider, you will be taking a lot of decisions which are trivial. What kind of food to eat and what kind of dress to wear, like that kind of decisions. You take a lot of things every day, but they are not very important because they are not going to give a lot of importance impact to your future career. But there are certain decisions which are very crucial, like the one, should you repeat or not, which decides your future trajectory. So whenever you are faced with some crucial decisions, it is very, very important that you have a meticulous and careful way of analyzing and coming to a particular conclusion. So in that particular idea, what I did was I've gone through various frameworks given in various literatures. I made it very simple. And I hope this particular procedure, whatever I'm going to present to you, it will help you to come to a certain conclusion about how to decide whether to repeat or not. So generally in decision making process, you have certain states. First of all, before going into the conclusion, first you need to have a good clear mindset. Once you clear your mind, then you will have an analysis. So analysis is supposed to be largely fact-based and objective as possible. You should not have any opinions, biases and all. That is very important. Once you do analysis, after that, you will go into the real decision-making process, which is largely intuitive or your gut feeling, supported by whatever analysis you have done with this before that, whatever the previous step you had. After that, once the decision making is over, then immediately you need to declare that to everybody that are involved in it, so that you won't take back your decision or backtrack from your decision making. And after that, immediately you go into plan of action. Otherwise, decision which is not acted upon will be just a waste of time. So that is also very important. This is a general procedure to take any elaborate way of analyzing about a crucial decision like the one that you are faced with right now. So first, let us go with this particular step. Clear your mind. Every day you are bombarded with a lot of opinions on you, your friends, relatives, your parents. Right from your childhood, your personality, your values, your interests, everything is shaped by your environment and the people around you. So when you are deciding with these kind of situations and you are emotionally very unstable, it's very tough to get your inner voice. That's why you need to isolate yourself for a brief amount of time. Such as particular decisions like this, right? It's better to take probably about a day, cut off from everything like social media, parents, family members. Don't take their opinions. Try to be yourself and try to clear your mind as much as possible and see that those noises that are there in your mind from other sources, they tone down so that you can hear your own voice, inner voice. After that, you start analyzing it so that you will have a clarity of thought. So that's the first step that you need to do. After that, once you clear your mind, then let us go into analysis so that you can understand things. So in analysis, there are various steps. I'll take few things like method of ideal characterization. I'll explain to you anyway. That is one method. After that, you have decision making metric, which is very quantitative in nature, where you give scoring yourself. After that, you decide. Then finally, you have alternative options analysis. So this is a general procedure. Let's get into this first method of ideal characterization. So imagine you character, an ideal character like Amir Khan in Three Idiots movie. So where he was very passionate about doing it. Imagine he is the ideal student to repeat. Okay, let us give some characteristics to him. Like for example, he has given only one attempt so far along with board exams. Then his marks, that whatever he is expecting, it is not very far from cutoff, probably less than 150 marks. And he has only one ambition, getting MBBS. Nothing other than that. He doesn't want to compromise on that. And of course, he would feel like when you look at the NEET paper after completing, if he is going through that, he feels that had I spent a little more time, probably about a month time if I had for practicing, I could have cracked many questions, probably about 100 marks I could have got. So he was confident about doing it better if he is going to given a chance to repeat. So that is another one. And of course, he has the parental and environment which is very supportive, both financially and emotionally. That is also one important thing. And whenever you are redoing, right, redoing everything, starting from what? Classes attending again, right? Notes writing, and then question paper practicing, and then worksheet practicing. Everything you have to do again. Some people will feel bored. Some people will feel excited. Some people will feel anxious. If this fellow is feeling excited, meaning he's very interested. Like you might have seen this movie in which Amir Khan was so interested in attending certain classes. So if you have that kind of excitement, meaning probably you are much more suited to go for this. And he can easily switch off himself from social media. He's not that much interested about this. If he wants, he can attend. Otherwise, he can immediately switch off. He is very flexible in that manner. And celebrations is not very important for him. All the celebrations can wait for 1 year. He's very okay with that. No problem at all. And after that, relations. You know, for teenagers, especially this boyfriend, girlfriend, love affairs and all, they do happen. But these things are not a very big deal for this particular character because he's ideal guy. He can sacrifice everything so that he can spend completely 1 year for this particular repetition part. And after that, family issues, even if there are any, we are not hoping that we should get, but if there are some family issues also, he can handle. He is mentally very, very strong. On the other hand, you go for other ideal guy. He is like Madhavan in the same movie Three Idiots, where he is the ideal guy who is not supposed to repeat. Now, let us give for him certain characteristics. So it is quite opposite to what we have seen. A lot of attempts, probably 3 to more attempts, and then 250 marks below the cutoff he is getting. Probably he got very less marks. He didn't have much strong desire for MBBS. He took it because he was in biology stream. So he wanted to take biology to escape from mathematics. So he was okay. He will be happy getting MBBS. But if he's not getting also, he's not that bad about it. Like other alternatives also looking reasonably interesting for him. So such kind of personality. And even after writing examination, if you are going through the solutions and struggling to understand many things, probably your capabilities in this particular stream may not be up to the mark. That doesn't mean that you are completely bad because different people will have different strengths and weaknesses. Probably you are not made for this particular thing. You can take that. All right. And of course, the family conditions could be sometimes very harsh, may not be in your hands. That's also another thing. So looking at the paper or repeating, if you have to look at it, you will feel very anxious, meaning you are not ready for it. That's also another aspect. So, and then social media is very serious addictive problem for him. He would like to get rid of it, but he cannot do it. He's not very sure about it. Cannot miss family events. Of course, Madhavan was not like that because during that time, social media was not that, but I'm just trying to create it. I thought probably you'll be able to connect to this character much easily. So relations are primary, right? That's another thing. Emotionally very weak. Little bit of disturbance, he'll get disturbed. So this is another character. If you have this kind of personalities, obviously you are not supposed to repeat. Now you create certain spectrum, like he's the best to repeat and he's the best not to repeat. And you have a spectrum of characteristics. So it's not like two extremes. Like you can be anywhere in between. You try to visualize yourself and try to assess yourself. See qualitatively, it's a qualitative understanding. It's not quantitative. Are you closer to this character or are you closer to this character? Where are you standing? So that will help you understand whether you are ready for repeating or all in a qualitative manner. This is one particular way of analyzing. Now let us go for a second way of analyzing decision-making metric. Okay. For example, what we do is, I have taken 5 characteristics which are important to decide whether to repeat or not. First one is how strong are you emotionally? Very important. I gave you 25 points for it. Next one is supportive family condition. That's also very important, not in your control completely, but still important. 25 points maximum. And then your capability. How good are you in the subject? Given one more chance, how quickly you will be able to rectify or improve upon. How far away from cutoff? That's also very important factor. But I'm giving slightly lesser marks to it, to 20 marks. Then how do you feel going through the entire thing once again, right? So are you ready for taking the same grill again for one more year? It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be comfortable, very struggling. Are you ready to take that up? That is also another factor, but that is given a little less, probably 20 marks I had given. And the number of attempts also is important, because more the number of attempts, right, more pressure you will be facing from surrounding and environment, neighbors and all. That's also going to cause a lot of emotional distress. So these factors I had given. Based on this, you try to score yourself. Best meaning 25, 0, 25, 0, 20, worst is 0. Like that, you try to qualitatively give yourself certain marks on each parameter and then sum it up. And it is supposed to be 100 out of 100. So if you are getting around 70 and above out of 100, that means you are ideal to go for repeating. If you're getting less than 30 marks, right, probably it is not good for you. So maybe you can leave it. If you get 0, probably you can go for comedian post or whatever. But definitely 70 marks and above, it will be a good criteria to considering repeating. Okay. So that is about the second part, that is quantitative. The next one is alternatives. Okay, if not MBBS, what are the other options, right? So when I looked at this on the site, right, websites and various sources, I was really surprised to see that there are about 108 courses other than MBBS in biology stream. About more than 100 we had. I could not list everything here. What I did was I took top 10 biology stream related careers, which are very highly demanding. So you see, first one is of course medical doctor, MBBS. Other than that, there are very nice, interesting jobs like biomedical engineering and then pharmacy, biotechnology, and so on. Many other aspects are also there. Genetic engineering and conservationists, environmental scientists. These are all very interesting, very, very interesting jobs and also high on demand. So probably if you go through them and you feel that they are also exciting to me. Of course, MBBS is exciting, but other things are also seeming to be exciting, which means that you are not really committed to MBBS. Probably it is better to think of not repeating it. So that is another parameter I had given. So these are the three ways of analyzing. So analysis is going to be mostly subjective, as subjective as possible. Before that, you need to have a clear mind. Now it comes to decision making. Decision making is supposed to be yourself. Nobody will be involving in it. Finally, you have to decide and you should take the responsibility of what you are deciding. People can support you around it, but finally decision is supposed to be yourself. And primarily it is going to be intuition, of course, based on whatever analysis you have done. So you go for a decision making. In this particular aspect, I really would like to talk about this particular quotation. I really like this quotation, which was given by the great Ratan Tata. I hope it is true. Okay. So what he says is this: I don't believe in taking right decisions. I take decisions and then make them right. So it's a very powerful statement. You just take decision, don't think too much. Okay. Once you had come to a certain stage, enough of thinking, enough of prioritizing and then all that procrastination and all that, immediately you have to take a decision and you commit yourself to make sure that whatever decision is taken will be made right. You have to make it right. So this is a very powerful thing. There are no right or wrong answers. There is only intuition. So there is no right profession, no right wrong profession. There is nothing like this profession is wrong. Absolutely. No, not like that. Person to person, it varies. Some people enjoy it. Some people do not enjoy it. That's all. So definitely everything will have its own positives and also its negatives. So please take it up finally that way. After decision is made, then comes the serious, real problem, real issue, a real concern, a real aspect. This is where you are supposed to spend a lot of time. So whatever you have done so far is only tip of the iceberg. After that, you need to immediately declare everybody saying that, see, I'm going to do this. Everybody you tell that. And after that, immediately you should start the plan of action. This is very, very essential. Our trouble is not ignorance, but inaction. We keep deciding, and after that, you keep on deciding. It keeps on going like that. So you stop at one point, immediately you need to go for action. Action motivates you to do additional action. That is very important. Getting a mentor is the very important thing, because if you are doing everything on your own, it will be very tough. So now it has become very specialized and expertized, right? So better to take some suggestions and guidance from mentors. That is a shortcut way to success. That doesn't mean that you don't have to work. It is a smart way of hard work. That is what we are looking at. Take action immediately. That is where you will be getting the results. With that, we had come to the conclusion of this session, this particular video. You see, the decision making is ultimately subjective and intuitive based. Of course, I had given you a certain framework so that whatever decision you take, you will be able to stick to it no matter how hard it is. That's the basic idea. But finally, you have to take a decision. So I hope that you will take a correct decision, which is going to make your life more fruitful in terms of the career growth and so on. So I really wish that God Almighty gives you all the strength that you need to do your whatever required to get the dream a reality. So with that, I'll conclude here. Thank you very much for joining us. Wish you all the best. This is our contact number. If you have any more concerns, doubts, and if you wish to talk to us, you just give us a missed call. We'll be very happy to give you that personal counseling. Moreover, this month, coming month, June first week onwards, we are starting the fresh batch for repeaters. So if you are interested, you can also get back to us. We'll be able to help you in that direction as well. So thank you very much. And until next time, goodbye.